Hello, everyone. My name is Dave Dolan from Bodhi Wellness and Psychotherapy, and I'm creating this video today as a beginner introduction to mindfulness meditation. A lot of people have a lot of different ideas about what a meditation is and how to do meditation, and a lot of the people who I talk to about it don't think that it's something that they could do, and usually the reason why they believe that is because they have kind of false ideas about what meditation is. Most people think that meditation is to stop your mind or stop yourself from thinking, and that's not possible. That's not the goal of meditation. It's not the art of the practice of meditation. In fact, if that's what you believe that meditation is, there's a really, really good chance that you're going to quit doing it very, very quickly, because it's just not an attainable goal in the sense of seeking it. It's a side effect of meditation sometimes. You practice meditation for long periods of time, and you'll get periods where no thought occurs, which is quite pleasant and enjoyable. But the more you set that as a goal, the less likely something like that is to happen. So I guess the first important aspect or component to beginning a meditation practice and learning about it and working with it is to understand truly what it is. And in its simplest form, it's the art of being present. It's the art of drawing ourselves back into the present moment, to be here, to be now, to be in this moment, to be in the body, to be with the breath, and to be present in whatever is occurring in your life at that given moment. And to be aware of this moment and aware of our surroundings and aware of what is occurring in it. So there's two kind of key components if we're going to talk about a beginning in meditation practice, the kind of the basics. One of them, if we're going to practice being in the present moment, to work with that, to have that as our practice, then we need an anchor. We need something that can hold us in the present moment. For thousands and thousands and thousands of years, possibly even longer, who knows, people have kind of used the breath as the primary anchor of any type of meditative or contemplative or present moment type of practice. Why? Because the breath is vital, right? We can't survive if we don't breathe. It's always happening. It's happening in the moment. It's happening in the now. And you can experience it through the body, through breath awareness. And so having a focal point of the breath is kind of the simplest or most basic way to start as far as having an anchor. There's a number of other anchors that we can use, things like sounds that are occurring in the room or outside of the room, the weight of the body in the chair, the contact points of the body, where my arms touch, where my body is touching, the weight of my back against the back of the chair. Any of these things can be used as points of awareness to hold us and draw us back into the present moment. Any sensations as the temperature of the room, any smells that are present, anything that's occurring in this current moment can be used as an anchor to hold us here. But again, the most simple and the most basic one is the breath. To be able to come back to the sensation of breathing. And when I talk about the sensation of breathing, we talk about awareness. Awareness is an interesting thing. People talk about, we frequently confuse ourselves with our thoughts. And we think we are our thoughts, and we're pretty consumed by them, and we don't really pay much attention to them. And so a lot of times when you say awareness, people are thinking, what they think about things. And when I say awareness, I mean the thing that kind of exists before thought or behind thought. You can be kind of, if we're going to be aware of the breath, if I take a breath in, I can feel my chest, kind of come out. I can feel my belly come out. I can feel the air as it comes in past my nostrils or in through my mouth, however I breathe in. I can feel that little pause at the top of the in-breath. And then as I start to breathe out, that deflation, the chest going in, the air moving out. Noticing that the air that moves out is a little bit warmer than the air that moves in. Feeling the stomach kind of contract back in. Any subtle movements in the body that have to do with the breath. And so all that is part of being aware. It's watching, right? It's to watch. It's to be present to what is occurring inside of us. Thoughts kind of occur along with that, right? We analyze the process, like what is this guy talking about, or what is happening with the breath, or my my belly's kind of tight, and so it feels weird to just be aware of my breath or any of those things that the mind kind of thinks, but the awareness is truly just the presence too. It's just to watch ourselves breathe. The mind will go on autopilot. We don't have to worry about that. Again, the goal of meditation is not to stop the mind from going off on tangents about thinking. That's just what it's going to do. And so the art of meditation is to truly to go off into thought. Your mind will just rip you off into thought no matter what you do. And then you bring the awareness back to the breath. You bring the awareness back into the present moment. You bring the awareness back to the breath, the sensation of breathing. And then maybe you're there for a breath or two before something else pops into your mind. Thoughts will come. And, many thoughts will occur while you could still be conscious and aware of your breath. The first 7 to 10 minutes of any meditation that I do, my mind is kind of bouncing around all over the place and thinking about things. But my goal, to some percentage of my awareness, I'm trying to hold on my breath as that's occurring. And then sometimes you'll get one of those really powerful thoughts that kind of just pulls you away. You're not present to your breath at all anymore. You're not present to anything that's going around you. You're just kind of off in a thought, thinking about something, analyzing something, thinking about something you need to do or something that you did or any of these types of things. We just draw the awareness. Once you realize that you've been pulled off by a thought, you're already back. You've already brought your awareness back into the present moment. It just happened. It's just awakened, And we just draw that awareness back onto the breath, pulling it back into the body, and letting go of any sense of judgments that's attached to going off into thought. Going off into thought is not failure. There is no success or failure, in this regard. It's just the fluid motion, right? The mind pulled me off into thought, I come back to the breath. The mind pulled me off into thought, I come back to the breath. Off into thought, back to the breath. Off into thought, back to the breath. And that is meditation. That art of just kind of going off and coming back and going off and coming back. And after you practice for some time, what tends to naturally occur, with very little actual effort on our part, is the mind starts to settle out and kind of refine itself and slow down, and we get pulled off less frequently. The mind starts to become more settled, more organized. The body kind of naturally relaxes and starts to soften. These are things that just kind of occur when we have the conscious intention, to draw our awareness back to the breath and to hold our awareness on the breath as we go through our meditation. The other key component of meditation is posture, how we sit, or how you lay down. There's many different ways to do this. I'm sitting in an office chair right now with a back to it. I'm sitting cross-legged because I'm comfortable sitting this way. I've been doing it for a long time. When I meditate at home, I have a cushion that I sit on, and I sit on the cushion cross-legged, and it kind of raises you up, and it aligns my spine. This chair allows me to align my spine because it's kind of holding it back. So the key to any posture, however you sit, feet flat on the ground, cross-legged in a chair, however you want to do it, the key is that you're comfortable and that your back is aligned so your diaphragm can open and close freely, not kind of constricted as you breathe, and your muscles won't get, super tired from trying to hold your body up. So finding a way of sitting that feels, comfortable, alert, where you're present and alert, because you also don't want to fall asleep if you're in too relaxed of a posture, like a lazy boy chair kind of reclined. There's a chance that you could fall asleep. Laying down for some people works, and for some people it doesn't. It seems to depend on how awake you are. If you're only slightly awake or mildly tired in any way, laying down has a really good chance of putting you to sleep. And that's where sitting up is good. Now, if you're like feeling anxious for any reason, or you're feeling extremely kind of over alert, overstimulated, laying down, could be a better posture because it's more grounding and it kind of helps you to kind of settle into the body a little bit more. So finding a way of sitting that just feels comfortable for you, a way that we hold our hands. There's a couple different ways I suggest in the beginning. One is to have your palms down on your thighs. Another one is to have your palms up. Another one is to have fingertips together. And it's really about finding out what is best for you in each moment, because each time you sit, your body may feel better in a different posture, a different position, or a different way of holding the hands. I notice that when I'm feeling a little bit overstimulated or anxious, my palms down is a little bit better for me because it has more of that grounding sense. Sometimes I'm really drawn to working with palms up in that more kind of receptive type of manner of kind of receiving and drawing energy in. And then, this mudra of holding our fingertips together is kind of one of balance, kind of balancing the left and right hemispheres of the brain, balancing the left and right sides of the body. So this is a really good mudra to work with. A mudra is a way that we hold our hands. It comes from the practice of yoga out of India. Any way that we kind of position or hold the body or move the body. So fingertips together can be a good one. So you just figure out what's right for you, kind of experiment with things in the first couple of minutes of meditation, as we're kind of drawing the awareness onto the breath and things of this nature. It's a good time to just make any of those subtle adjustments to the body, just listening to the body and seeing what the body needs or what the body's asking for in any given moment. So those are kind of the two basic components. From with those two things, you could pretty much begin a meditation practice. There's many more things that we could talk about or analyze, but those are kind of the two keys, to have an anchor in the present moment and to find a way of sitting and a posture that feels comfortable and right for you.